Hello everybody and happy Saturday. Hopefully you're having a lovely weekend so far. And I just wanted to do a quick video, just talk about compensation, because as you know, in the last 24 hours we received compensation for Save the Battlerealm, as well as the kind of bugs that were associated with the initial clears of that Nameless Thanos and the way that maybe it wasn't working as intended, which Kabam then had to change in future. The initial compensation package went out like this. So only 3 level 2 revives, 3 health potions at level 3, and then we got 3 energy refills. A lot of players are kind of going like, well, did we really need the energy refill side of things? And basically some people have even kind of commented to say the extent of what they bought is not equal to this amount that they're giving back. So there's a little bit of animosity, a little bit of frustrations amongst the player base in regards to this. For some players, they're still talking about what is fair again, and I do sympathise, especially when you consider what was spent here. Now, I can't remember, it must have been that I spent level 2 revives and, well, I don't think I did level 3 health potions, but this person here only got level 1 revives and level 3 health potions when you know, I got level 4. It is very weird to find out where the lay of the land is with who gets what, who's entitled to what, based on what they spent to then go through the Nameless Thanos. And just to clear up, this is to do with the Nameless Thanos side of things. You will get to the Save the Battlerealm in a moment, but the fact is, you're like, eh? Guess what Kabam are trying to do is keep it fair against what people actually spent, as opposed to what people would be entitled to as everybody would have been entitled to. It's like saying, okay, so if I spent level 2 revives and then it's okay, somebody spent like level 1 revives, should they get level 2 revives? I mean, me personally, I wouldn't give a crap. I'd be happy to share the same thing that I got if it was better than anyone else's with the entire community. But for others, they may be like, well, no, I spent this, they spent that, therefore we should get this and they should get that. However, it'll be completely inconsiderate if I don't actually clear up that in saying that it's actually based on doing Master versus doing Uncollected. So if you did the difficulty of Master, then apparently you're getting the 20% revives. But if you did the Uncollected version, then you're entitled to the level 2 revives. I don't know really the extent of it if you did both of them, Master and did Uncollected, before the changes on the April 26 kind of micro update. So therefore somebody could be getting 2 messages or maybe no messages. I don't know. If somebody could like put in the comment section whether or not they got both of them or did the Master before the point of the April 26th, that would be quite a thing to behold. Some people are putting some well-rounded arguments together, even pointing out that the compensation from the Ice Phoenix event, which was over nearly 2 years ago, was actually pretty darn good. I mean, look at all those revives, look at all those health potions, especially kind of going like, well, look, there's 5 level 2 revives on offer, there's 2 team revives, which, let's face it, that is pretty darn tasty. Also, something to bear in mind, that we did cover this in Marvel Contest of Champions news, that people were sent some sort of message from Kabam when they go into the support and they kind of went and logged a ticket, that the complaint that was put through was met with an answer basically saying that in the interim, we're going to send you through some things to kind of acknowledge our mistake, but then there will be a further announcement. But this further announcement, then what of those people that sent the message got this message? So they could have got a little bit more than others. I don't know if that is indeed the case, or whether or not that referenced this was the message that you get for the compensation for Nameless Thanos. It'd be nice to see like a bit of clarity on the subject, as people may have got a bit more than other people that went up against this. Even with some saying that they've used a lot more revives in order to get the champion down, and maybe find it a bit more difficult than others, but still, would they be entitled to a bit more than what we've been given out? I personally can't think back to the extent of how much I spent revives-wise in order to get the champion down, especially with the initial clear and trying to do this in the very first hour of the event going live. So, is it a point of saying, as it is up there, would it be better to kind of go, right, well, let's compensate somewhat back based on the actual individual spend? So saying, if for whatever reason that person that we just featured a moment ago in that thread said, right, I used 30 to 35, if it's verified he had 30 to 35 being spent, then would it be nice to send him through 10 maybe even at a stretch 15 revives. I don't know. I'm not going to talk about what the extent of fair in reparations is back to the player. I'm maybe saying that it would be, and the point I'm going to always come back to is that, do bear in mind, these are free things in game, so Kabam don't lose out by giving these back. That's number one. Number two, as being a big company, then if the player base is kind of going, oh right, do you know what, I felt that this was good what I got back, then that's positive and makes people a little bit more happier with the developer. So it then improves the relationship between them, the player, and then the developer, which, let's face it, over the last 2 months has not been very good, and something that I do always come back to, especially when we had the gifting badge incident and having those extra 500 units. Again, let me reiterate, they're a big company. The currency that they provide in game units wise is free. Having the relationship between customer, consumer, player, and the developer is a good relationship, and it just hasn't been there of late. Also, the point from Kabam is indeed there that if you feel you qualified for the compensation package based on completing and smashing through Uncollected Thanos, the Nameless Thanos, before the 26th of April, you need to get in contact with them over a support ticket. So do that if you think that you do qualify. Don't feel left out if that's the case. Next up, and we've got the other compensation package. So the thoughts are really in on this one, which is similar to the other one. If you spent an excessive amount on this, then you'll find that this may not be equal to what you're expecting to come back. And for those that maybe feel disappointed, it is important to be vocal about this subject. So I've put a link in the description, it takes you to here, and this is the ongoing discussion about that said compensation. In this instant, the compensation is that reflects that type of event. Yeah, the Havoc thing was incredibly annoying, and the changes now are a little bit better. And as I reiterate, people will feel that maybe their spend was too high. But for those that decided to kind of like go in, test it out, and go like, do you know what? Nah, not bothered. Duck out and then wait. And then Kabam obviously then changed it to be a bit more fairer against how it should be. But for this, will people feel overly compensated by the matter? Me personally, because I didn't actually spend anything on it and just went in and just go, do you know what? No, this isn't good. This isn't fair. Then we went to the forums, we all made videos on this, criticized, and therefore things have changed. I feel that it doesn't really affect me too much, and I feel that this is indeed fair against it. But for others, like I said, it may be a case you may not feel that this compensates you. My final thoughts on this is I'm a bit indifferent. So my side of things is that I feel that the compensation for Nameless Thanos isn't really good enough. For Save the Battlerealm, if I then amalgamate that together with those two compensation packages, I feel it does represent that of the Nameless Thanos. Because I didn't participate much in Save the Battlerealm. As you know, I've been very vocal on that when I started it. I went through, I think I did the Soul Stone route, and then went, do you know what? Nah. Or maybe I did the one initial clear of Epic, and then after that, it was a case of going, okay, I'm not doing this ever again. They then changed the event, and then it's been a little bit more negotiable, fairer, whatever you want to call it. Either way, the Nameless Thanos compensation, not good. But with the other one together, smush it together, I feel fine. But there's going to be people that feel very differently based on their own experience and the extent that maybe they spent. Maybe they felt that they spent physical money, and then it should be a case that then they need something equal to that in reparations, as I said. But it is up to the developer at this current stage how much they want to give back to everybody as a big scheme. And as I'm going to go back and constantly say, you will only feel compensated against what your own experience is. Some will feel compensated, some won't. And this is when the forum, I think, becomes a bit too judgmental on people in the way they want to play the game. You play the game, you want to play the game. So if you want to rush through and do content, then you do that. If you want to take your time, take your time. But at the end of the day, I think you need to be a bit more civil to people. But it's the forums, it's not always civil. Either way, what are your thoughts on your own personal compensation packages from this? Do you feel that, say, the Battlerealm is fine? And obviously not everybody's going to get the Nameless Thanos one or the master level of Nameless Thanos type level of compensation package back. So do you feel at the moment that that's fine for you? Do you feel individually compensated, or do you not feel individually compensated? Have your say in the comment section below, or go to the forum post, link is in the description. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, hit that like button and subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content from my channel, RichTheMan. Also, if you like PUBG and other kind of like shoot 'em up games and other random games, then go to my other channel called Stormbreaker Gaming. Link is in the description below as well. And I shall catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.